So today I want to talk about moving a Filipina, or actually any woman anywhere, in with you prematurely. Obviously, in any real relationship, eventually you're going to live together 90% of the time. But I want to caution you about how things can be a bit different in a country like the Philippines or a Southeast Asian country. And again, moving a woman in with you in any country is a huge step that you may or may not want to take. So right off the top, just elevating a woman's lifestyle. If she's not a city girl and you meet that provincial girl that everybody always preaches is the best and they're better than city girls and they're not affected by, the feminist West and all that, it's not so much true. With the social media and TikTok and stuff like that, every girl knows her value. Every girl knows how many likes she's getting, and she knows that a foreigner can create a better life because of things like mainly TikTok, actually, for these 18 to 25 types in the Philippines, which is probably what you're looking for realistically. So when you move a Filipina or any woman in with you, and you move her in 7 days a week, it's not a thing where she gets to stay with you on weekends, or she gets to come over and hang out on Saturday night or whatever, but she's literally living with you. Regardless of whether she was a girl that was less fortunate, living in the city, just trying to make it happen, living at like a bed space or a boarding house, or she was living in the province, perhaps with less than stellar accommodations. A lot of times the woman could be with you for the wrong reasons, or that can quote unquote go to her head a bit. And when you are not living at usually Filipino level of like somebody that's just trying to get by and eating rice every day, etc., you're probably eating out often. You're probably eating whatever you want. You're probably going to Starbucks. You're probably going to White Sand Beach Islands, and you are introducing her into what is a very high level world of this is like making it for someone that's less fortunate. And this could go in any country with any woman. If she wasn't doing so hot and she met a upwardly mobile man, which almost any man is out here. If you get $2,000 a month, you're upwardly mobile in the Philippines, realistically, especially outside of the big cities where there's a lot of wealth concentrated like we're looking at right now. So at the end of the day, a woman can get a little bit feeling like she's that girl. And if you don't learn the word no, and you're kind of just like, wow, I can't believe this girl wants to sleep with me. I've just got over here from America. I didn't have a chance with a 48-year-old, let alone a 24-year-old. And this is absolutely amazing. And, I'm not going to say no. It's small money to me. I'm going to really, really show this girl a good time and make her the queen of the Philippines. And whether you know it or not, that's what you're doing, even with a very small pension or, a little digital hustle or whatever you got going, or just spending your savings with her, essentially. So what happens if you don't send a woman home sometimes, or not let her live with you as in move in all her stuff and receive mail with you and stuff, it sort of keeps them humble when you kind of say, hey, you know what, I need a few days off, or hey, why don't you go visit your family, or hey, you can't move in with me. You can come out for a week and then go back to the province for a week, or you can come over for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but then I got some work I got to get done, or let's slow it down here. And you're not going to want to do that, because you're going to love the companionship and the other things that come with having a beautiful woman in your home. But if a woman starts giving you tampo or starts making plans for your money, tampo is when they kind of give you like the silent treatment, and they want you to ask them about what it is and guess what it is, because they don't want to talk. And this could last an hour, this could last a week. Whatever the case may be, when you get into that type of thing where she's getting super comfortable with, eating at Conti's or Vikings Buffet or all these, places that are quite expensive, every day, and getting her Starbucks in the morning, and living in a very upscale condo, and swimming in the infinity pool, and having the concierge at her disposal and stuff. a woman, even the most humble province girl or a girl that was living in a boarding house in the Philippines, in Manila, and making $11 a day, she will be like, my man is that guy. I made it. I found a rich foreigner. And even if she's not so much into foreigners, that lifestyle is very, very hard to walk away from. Even if she wasn't attracted to you or a Filipino would have been her choice, that's a bit intoxicating to get around. And it would seem weird to an American to go, oh, you get to eat whatever you want and live in a decent little tiny condo. But you don't understand of the polar opposite of living on a farm in the province or sharing a terrible accommodation with 8 other girls. So that's really making it, if you get a guy that maybe he's, in his 40s or 50s, or he's not even, a legitimate retired senior citizen, and somehow he can live in Manila or Cebu or wherever, and you got an unlimited food budget, you can get whatever clothes you want, you get to, like I said, live in an upscale accommodation, and you got transportation, you got everything you could possibly imagine. And you're perceived as wealthy, and essentially you can't just say, hey, you know what, I found someone sexier, and just change the locks. If a Filipina knows her rights, you'd actually be better off being married. Filipina P talked about this, and you've sort of upgraded her lifestyle at that point, and she could get an attorney and get some type of a severance from you. It's kind of like having an employee at that point. In America, you can just change the locks if you meet a sexier, younger girl, and a girl can just go live with her parents, or she makes, $27 an hour or whatever already, so she doesn't really give a shit, or she's going to go away quietly. Now, a Filipina that knows her rights actually is entitled to, not just be dropped on her head back to the province or back to the boarding house. So keep that in mind, and take it slow. And unless you're ready to marry someone or you've been with them for years, yes, I said years, I don't suggest having them reside with you permanently. It keeps them humble to send them home a little bit. And also another thing that you shouldn't do is, if you're sending them home a little bit, but then you're sending them home with a pocket full of money, like 10,000 pesos or whatever, every time they go home, you're really sending like a signal that, hey, even when you're not with me, I'm a sugar daddy, and basically I'm purchasing you. So, if a girl's around you and she's going to eat where you eat and stuff like that, that's totally normal. But if a girl's not even with you and she's, getting sent home with a 10,000 peso severance package for the 3-day send home or whatever, you're kind of signaling low value and that you are purchasing someone that's out of your league, and women lose respect for people like that. Same thing if you're not in the Philippines and you're sending over big money. And I know people go, oh, you're wrong, or this and that, or that would raise her attraction to me. No, it won't. I've been around these girls when that 10,000 pesos hits from the dude in Europe or the dude in America or whatever, and they're acting single, and they're kind of, women in any country. This is not a knock on Filipinas. That's just the truth. So, guys, don't move a girl in with you right away. Don't move a girl in with you even in the first year. Women change over time. You'll start to see the real woman sometimes 90 days in, sometimes 6 months in, sometimes 9 months in, sometimes a year in, kind of mask off. Hey, this is what irritates her about you. This is what irritates you about her. This is her bad side. This is her depression. This is her bad habits. This is her nasty side. This is her anger problems. Whatever. If you move a girl in with you, you're as good as married, and you're actually in worse shape than being married, because you can't have a prenup and all that. And if you're pillow talking about your salary and stuff, when a tita or a tito or a mom or a dad or a brother or a sister gets sick or something, you're pretty much on the hook, bro. It's going to be hard for you to say no. And a lot of these guys are so starved out when they get over here, they go against every little thing I say, and they tell the girl about how much money they're making and how much is in their bank account and this and that. And if you tell a girl all that and she's living under your roof, I mean, you could be setting yourself up for a disaster, being disrespected, money being expected for the family, her making plans for your money, and all kinds of stuff. Now, this is not a knock on Filipinas. I've been with the same Filipina for almost a year, and Filipinas are the best, the most affectionate, sweetest women in the world. But you must choose wisely, and you must test a girl for a while. Remember, you are the prize, guys, and don't just be a sucker and just move a girl in with you the first day and then end up in a situation where you got somebody in your house that's disrespecting you or expecting things or whatever the case may be. So take this with a grain of salt. I love Filipinas, but do not jump the gun and be so desperate to have that woman every single night that you make a terrible decision and screw up your future on a tourist visa in a developing country. All right, guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I do consultations, jasperinthephilippines@gmail.com. I go live every day, almost every day, 9 a.m. Manila time, and sana all beautiful Manila, Philippines.